I tried to go live a few minutes ago and I had just gotten done eating some almonds, which are a really good low glucose snack. They're very good for you. And I had a handful. And if you eat almonds, you know, sometimes you have a coughing fit. So there you go. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the Acolyte. So a few days ago, we discovered that they weren't going to do a season 2. I was on my deck going, called up Cameron like immediately, and he got the word out. Don't know what the reaction is at in the office at Lucasfilm, but I'm sure it's pretty much relief. Hi, Kojak. Koji is right here. I'm pretty sure it's relief. So there's that. And then yesterday evening, it came out that the Disney Plus store took all of the merchandise for the Acolyte off. So if you want Acolyte merch, you have to go to eBay. Maybe you'll find somebody collected a bunch of it and is selling it for whatever on Amazon or something, but you can't just go and get a Hasbro May figure now. Okay, it's done. It's done. So what does it mean? I mean, I talked about it in my upload earlier. I think, first off, I think it's funny as hell. You know, Star Wars Theory was telling people, don't pick on Amanda Stenberg, don't pick on Leslie Headland. I'm like, why? Why not? Stenberg posts an anti-white racist screed about the fans in a rap. Wow, how much talent is that? None. And Hey Cross, well, I think it's going to truly get yeeted. I think that's the next step. But we'll get there. You know, and you know, Leslie Headland can verbally abuse George Lucas and we can't say anything? Come on, Toos. Come on. Let it go. Okay, just you know, let us rub their noses in it because they deserve it. They didn't make the Acolyte because they love Star Wars. Okay, again, Leslie Headland can sit and cry about how she used to play with her action figures and all the rest of this stuff and blah, blah, blah. She's not a Star Wars fan. She never was. Disrespects George, disrespects the lore, and brings this social justice bullshit and her fucking weird lifestyle that no one wants to hear about into the franchise. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it Cross is right. I mean, you know, lady, you know, that girl that interviewed her, I was kind of trolling her today on X because I can, and she got all mad. And I'm like, let it go, you know? And I see Rudolfo's home. Hi, Rudy. So anyway, you know, it's what's gonna happen next? Well, what I think is Kojak walks around with this giant pickle in his mouth to show Daddy. So what I think is gonna happen is they are probably gonna yank it from Disney Plus, and that's it. That's all. That's what's gonna happen. Yes, he does. Koji loves his daddy, and you know that is what's gonna happen. So yeah, I mean, and Jacob's right. I mean, it's like, you know, you can't have a conversation with them. They're all incensed. They don't understand. Disney needed it to be successful for them to get a second season. If you look at the numbers now, the numbers don't lie. You know, you just sit there and you know, you're looking at like that Leslie or that Rachel Fleischman on from the Mary Sue and others. It's like, you don't really understand the business, do you? You can't just throw a pile of shit together that you enjoy, poorly written, poorly made, with riddled with your bullshit, and expect everybody to like it. It's like they've almost reached a point where they're like, well, we can't figure out why nobody likes it. And it's like, because it sucks. Keep your weird stuff to yourself. I mean, if you want to do something that's woke and disgusting, create your own franchise. Okay? I mean, I have a friend who mourns the days that people who had different lifestyles just lived them and didn't bother anybody. And he's one of those people. And it's like, I don't know what to say. You just sit there, you don't know what to say. You don't sit there and say, if you don't quit it, you're going to hell. You don't say that. I mean, not unless they want your honest opinion. Because then I would give that to them. But you also have to look at people who want to be left alone, and because a bunch of nutbags decided to take over the world in their thing and shove it in everybody's faces and attack children, they've made it very difficult, I think, because there are people in the world, we're seeing them getting rowdy in London, who do not like that, who will not tolerate it, and who do things about it that are violent and gross. Okay? And that's what's coming because of these people sticking their asses in everybody's face. Okay? And that was the problem with the Acolyte. If you've got kids, you're not going to let them watch that. You're just not. And again, if you're going to watch it, you better do it quick because they're going to yank it. They're going to yank it from Disney Plus. In fact, that's going to be the next thing. I predict. And I think very soon. I think they'll give it a couple more weeks and then it'll just disappear from Disney Plus. So my advice, if you're willing to go through it and you want to laugh, get your favorite bottle of wine and just so you can watch and laugh. Because it's dead and it's not coming back. It's over. Okay. Now what group wants to get Ahsoka canceled? Is it the same people who like the Acolyte? I know why they want to get Ahsoka canceled because they know that's where the timeline's going to be reset. All right. So there you go. Well, Cross, here's the deal. We haven't heard a word one from Kennedy. She cannot be pleased, with the thumping that the Acolyte got. She okayed it. So this is on her head. She can't be pleased with how bad she looks. Because ultimately, the person to blame is her. And in this role, shit rolls uphill. All right? And she doesn't have the power anymore to throw Leslie Headland under the bus, does she? Yeah, well, they don't understand that. They're the people, let's say like you or me, 1992, sitting in Holocaust history class, and Professor Wegner goes, basically, how many of you, had you lived in Germany at the time, would have stood up to the Nazis? And all these kids raised their hands. I did too. But I don't know if that's even a good analogy, but if you're Dave Filoni, you keep your head down, your mouth shut. You know what is going on is wrong. You know it goes against the guiding principles of what the franchise stands for. You know it's going to hurt the franchise. Keep your mouth shut, because in the end, you're going to be the one still there. And the ones that are pushing it are going to be gone. So it's very, I mean, they were, excuse me, they were going after Filoni's wife, like she has anything to do with Lucasfilm. It's like, shut up. It's not like she's Hillary Clinton. It's not like she's Michelle Obama. You know? I mean, just shut up. All right? Just leave the lady alone. Who cares if she's got pronouns in her Instagram bio? All right? I mean, I have a good friend with those. And if you knew who she was married to, your mouth would drop open. No, I'm not talking about Dee Dee. Dee Dee Sorvino married John Schneider, Bo Duke. So, you know, I now know the lady that was married to Paul Sorvino, and now she's married to Bo Duke. Anyway, I thought that was, that is a whole story, which I think is great. I just, because I knew something was going on between them. You just felt it. The way she talked about him and all the pictures and everything. And it's like, you guys are sweet on each other. And I didn't say anything, but I know. But you know, so these people who are yelling and screaming about Dave Filoni, if they jumped up and screamed at, you know, if they worked at Lucasfilm and Kennedy okayed The Acolyte, or she okayed Andor, she okayed The Last Jedi without on the first draft, and you complained about it, you get fired. Filoni was like, no, I know it's wrong, I know it's stupid, it goes against everything that we've done here at Lucasfilm, but this too shall pass. In fact, if you watch Rebels, and The World Between Worlds, he stuck that in there for a reason. All right, so he could fix what was broken, because eventually it was going to happen. Jon Favreau got together with him, and they created The Mandalorian, and off we go. All right, you know, I mean, Ethan Van Sciver's watching Kenobi right now, and he feels the same way I did. Loves seeing Kenobi, loves it, but for Reva, okay. And that's it. That's the only thing that's really bad. And to condemn the show over Reva, the whole show over one thing, is stupid. You know, but you know, if you're telling people, you're looking at a situation you know nothing about, and you're screaming about the fact that someone who's now in kind of a leadership position, not standing up for the right things, without, you know, taking into account his job, you are fucked up in the head. Okay, you really are. All right, what else? So we've got that, and of course, you know, Kennedy's nowhere to be seen. This is just another blow to her. Seeing the merch pulled off of Disney's online store, another blow to her. You know, and I think Jacob said there are good things coming, and I think he's right. I think he's right, but I want to tell you guys this. When they announce Kennedy's retirement, it'll be anticlimactic because she's not there anyway. They'll be like, who knew? You know, that's what my attitude's gonna be. Who knew? Okay. And the reason why is because it's obvious. All right, it's obvious. Even Doomcock's discovery and theorizing that Luke coming up on that. Yeah, see, man, there is. Um, you know, summarizing all the bad stuff in the sequel trilogy and calling it In Your Galaxy. Um, I think they're going to break the sequel trilogy off into Elseworlds, into another timeline, and that's it. And we will never hear about it again. And they'll probably take the numbers off. See, man, there was talk of redoing Galaxy's Edge. And if you look at it, look down at where the Falcon is, it looks like the hangar, the docking bay that the Falcon was in on Tatooine. Really the only thing they have to change in that instance is that stupid rectangular sensor dish and just put the round one up. But really, reskinning Galaxy's Edge to be the OG, the OT, isn't really that difficult. Bring Vader back, call back to Tatooine, and then just, change Rise of the Resistance to the Battle of Endor. Maybe put some other. Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. You know, but maybe make it a trench, X-wing trench run ride. When you go to the Falcon, it's Han as part of it, not and whoever is part of that, Han and Chewie, and have them very much part of it. Have Han be the one to take him into the cockpit and then warn them, not a scratch, not a scratch. Doing that, not a scratch. Get the stormtroopers out there. Have Luke running around in his black Jedi robes. Yeah, I do too. I mean, the Imagineers were actually making it into the OT till Kennedy told him to stop. That she didn't want to be bogged down in the movies that were behind. And it's like, you had something that would print money there, dumbass, and you jumped the gun. Which Kathleen Kennedy, it shouldn't surprise anybody that she would do that. There's a lot of good I see coming. All right, get Vader around, have Luke dressed in his Jedi, the black Jedi Knight thing that he wore in Return of the Jedi. Have Lando do, if they did something different with, I know that there's construction going on at the Galaxy's Edge Hotel. And I think what I would have done with it and turned it into a high-end Cloud City restaurant. Okay, and then, Uga's Canteen, turn it into Chalmun's Canteen, and really have it look like the cantina, okay, and have cast members walking around the Wolf Man, get the Deveronian, get all these, characters. Have Cad Bane walk in, have Boba Fett walk in. There's now, I guess Tamara Morrison supposedly hinted that they canceled Boba Fett. Here's what I think. I think they'll leave the show up. I don't think it's necessarily canceled, but I don't think we're going to get any more seasons. Because they would have to retcon a bunch of stuff, and it's just, you know. But I do think he'll show up from time, because he has to. He has to show up in Mando and Grogu. All right, that's important. Okay, and you know, the suit, but the suits are gonna do what Barry Lapidus in The Offer did, and say, you know, we can't afford it, or no, that character is dead. It's a sugarless turd. And it's like, no, it's not. It's Boba Fett. He talks too much in the show. Bring him back to who he was. Okay? He don't have to say anything. Why should he? He's Boba Fett. Okay? These are the things. But I think the first thing when we find out, yeah, I think it is too, Mike. I think that's the next thing that's going to happen. It's going to happen fast too. And oh, the howling, ranting, and raving. Mrs. Hidalgo was upset. She had a bad day 2 days ago, but yesterday she had a good day. They're seething that they took it off of Disney, off of, you know, they won't get a second season. They didn't deserve it. The numbers weren't there. All right, blaming, and I love it, blaming YouTube for the show getting canceled, blaming us. Okay, fine, I'll take the blame. I didn't hire a talentless slag like Leslie Headland. I don't want her anywhere near Star Wars. Okay? Just didn't. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna go. I gotta go because I gotta go see CK. I kind of skipped her yesterday, but it's too warm to take the dog for a walk. 86 degrees, and he will get overheated. And Cameron's got a scoop incoming, so get ready. It's about the new CEO wars. So I gotta go. I'll see you guys around the galaxy. This is Steph signing out, and I think that the Acolyte's gonna get willowed, and I think they're gonna probably make an announcement about Kathleen Kennedy soon. Anyway, see you guys.